Hello, children. Welcome to the third module of chapter number 9, Up You Go, of Class 5 Social Science. This module is related to crossing a river in the mountains, and you are going to learn very interesting facts about it. Trekking is not just about enjoying nature. It is about many challenges that you face during your time in the wilderness. While these challenges replenish your adrenaline level, they also teach you how to survive in the wild. One such challenge is crossing a river stream. Crossing a river stream on the track requires more precaution than just folding up your pants. It involves a lot more strategy and technique then you think to obviously not to get yourself drowned in the river. It's a cakewalk when there is a bridge over the river. But how will you ever cross the stream when there is no bridge? The various topics which will be covered during this module is how to cross a river under the guidance of an instructor, experience of Madam Sangeeta, and then the tips and precautions to cross a river. The various learning outcomes that the students will be able to get after the completion of this module are they will get the knowledge of the various ways to get across the river, give reasons why a particular thing can be harmful. They may create their own ways to cross the river on the basis of the gained knowledge. Crossing the river under the guidance of the instructor. 5th February 1984. After 8-kilometer trek, the group reached a river. There they saw a thick rope tied across the river. The instructor told the group how to cross the river. The instructor showed the thick ropes tightly fixed with pitons or pegs across the river. He tied a rope around his waist and put a sling in it. He then put the sling on the thick rope tied across the river to cross it. It was a great experience for Madam Sangeeta. She was very nervous in the beginning, but as she moved forward with courage, she was able to face the challenge and gain confidence. I felt as if my feet were frozen. I started shivering. My teeth were chattering. I caught hold of the rope and started putting my feet firmly on the river bed. As I walked further in, the river got deeper and slowly the water reached up to my neck. In the middle of the river, I lost my balance and started slipping. I was so scared and felt so cold that the rope slipped from my hands. I started shouting for help. I was sure I would be carried away by the river. But no, I found that I was tied with the rope to the sling. Hold the rope! Hold the rope! I could hear the shouts. I somehow managed to get hold of the rope and put myself forward. Slowly, with some courage, I reached the river bank. I felt a special kind of happiness as I came out of the water. Happiness on finishing a challenging task. Now, standing on the bank, I was calling out to the others to hold the rope tightly. I knew that this confidence was a result of facing a challenge with courage. Precautions and tips to cross a river or a stream in a mountain. The first thing we should do is scout for the location. That is, Examine the location and find out which place has the slow water current, because that is the safest place to cross the stream from there. Locate the exposed rocks in the river, since the water behind the rocks is slower than either side of it. At the same time, these rocks provide us good resting places when the current is fast. Cross from the widest point of the river, as the water is shallower than where the river narrows down. Avoid white water paths of the waves and deep rivers with fast currents. Do not cross if the water is deeper than your thighs. The more body mass you have in the current, the less control you have in water, and more are your chances of getting drowned in the river. In the mountains, the rivers they flow with so much speed that it is very difficult to cross the rivers over there. And if the water increases, then the flow of the river carries you along with it. So make sure that the water does not come over your thighs and certainly not over your waist, because you will not be able to keep your control and you will be carried with the current. Do not remove your boots in the strong current. Always cross a river with your boots on your feet, since they have traction and protect your feet from underwater hazards. Removing the shoes before crossing the stream might be an option when the water is shallow, but when the water is more than ankle deep and the current is strong, then standing on one leg and removing the shoe might cause problems. While crossing the river barefoot, you can damage your feet with poking rocks, submerged logs, or branches and what not under the water. So it is always advisable to wear your shoes before crossing the river. And if you want your shoes to remain dry, then you can use sandals instead of shoes. The next most important thing is release your backpack. Release the strap and the hip belts of your backpack while crossing the river, because in case you fall in the river, your backpack will get filled with water and make your movement difficult. You may lose your footing and get washed down with the stream because of the heavy backpack. While we are at it, make sure you dry proof all your ration and clothes inside the bag to save your stuff from getting wet. Use a trekking pole or a stick. A trekking pole or a shoulder height stick is the best to provide you balance while crossing the river. At the same time, it helps in knowing the depth of the water. In this way, we will be able to cross the river without any difficulty. While crossing the river or a stream, we go inside the water. So in order to keep ourselves dry, the best thing we can do is fold the pants. And at the same time, it is best to wear convertible trek pants or shorts, because long pants they get soaked with water and cause a lot of problem in walking in the water or outside the water. At the same time, they take a lot of time to dry and thus making us uncomfortable for a longer period of time. Therefore, it is better to wear a convertible pant or change into nylon short pants before crossing the stream. If the current of the water stream is stronger, you have different options to cross the stream. The various options can be to cross in a pair or in a group. The first option is that the people are made to stand one behind the other as in a queue, so that the person in front breaks the current, making it slower for the people behind. Second option, if the crossing as a trio, that is in threes. The most stable way to cross it by forming a triangle. Third option, while crossing in a group, form a human chain by crossing arms with each other and have the largest individual at the upstream, that is in front, to break the current for the group. At the same time, it helps the others in between to be more stable. These precautions while crossing a river stream should not be ignored. Always be careful and cautious at every river crossing. If ever you have the slightest doubt about the stream, walk away and find the best and a safe place to cross the river, because it is very dangerous to cross the river in the wilderness where the current of the river is very fast. Let's quickly sum up what we have learned. The group learned how to cross the river under the guidance of the instructor. Some precautions have to be kept in mind while crossing the river. Scout the location properly and do not cross if the water is deeper than your thigh. Do not remove your boots in strong currents. Release your backpack and make sure that the ration inside it is dry proof. Use trekking poles or sticks. Fold your pants or wear shorts. While crossing in a group, follow a strategy. I hope you have learned a great deal about how to cross the river in the mountains. So next time when you go for such adventure activity, keep in mind these precautions so that you can enjoy the activity to the best. Thank you for learning